From massacre accusations in Nigeria to the aid volunteers on trial in Greece, our journalists bring you humanitarian news and developments from the heart of crises. Here's what's on their radar. A judicial panel of inquiry has found the Nigerian army killed at least 11 people when soldiers opened fire on protesters in Lagos last year. The panel's report described the shootings as a massacre. That casts a shadow over denials by the government and the army that any killings occurred. They've repeatedly labelled such reports as fake news. The sit-in at the Lekki toll gate on the 20th of October 2020 was one of many in Nigeria against police brutality. But the #EndSARS protests transformed into a broader social movement calling for political reform. Rights groups are now demanding that the government act on the panel's findings. The Sudanese military shot dead at least 15 people on the 17th of November, marking one of the bloodiest confrontations yet with pro-democracy activists. Demonstrators organising civilian resistance to the military's October takeover have vowed to continue their protests despite a new deal on the 21st of November that saw the reinstatement of Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok. At least 41 people have been killed since October. The latest crackdown has drawn international condemnation, with the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights describing the use of live ammunition by security forces as utterly shameful. The Greek trial of 24 aid volunteers accused of people smuggling could be delayed for months. The defendants were members of Emergency Response Centre International, an NGO that performed rescue activities at sea. It also provided humanitarian assistance to people in a refugee camp on the Greek island of Lesvos between 2016 and 2018. The first trial hearing was halted due to an apparent lack of English translation for defendants. When proceedings resumed, the court ruled it did not have jurisdiction over the case, sending it to a higher court. Human rights groups say the accusations are part of a broader trend of governments across Europe criminalising people providing humanitarian assistance to asylum seekers and migrants. The Democratic Republic of Congo's Senate has once again extended martial law in 2 of the country's eastern provinces. That's despite increasing criticism of the measure, which has done nothing to stem decades of violence. Since May, civilian officials in 2 provinces have been replaced by police and military figures. The head of the UN's peacekeeping mission in Congo has thrown her weight behind the measure, even as local rights groups have accused authorities of using new laws to curtail civil liberties.